Hey all, how are we today? Welcome to Tech Solutions. So hit that like button and share button, and if you have any questions, ask it in comments and we'll try to answer it as much as we can. So let's further not to do, this phone does have a touch issue, so we're going to put a new screen on it and test it that everything is working fine, and it should just work okay after that. So it's intermittent, so it seems more like a screen, and so let's just turn that off and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop up those two screws out with the bottom screwdriver. I'm going to pop those out quickly. So be careful not to pop this with this charging port in the charging port with a screwdriver, so it'll get damaged. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it from the sides, as sides have a lot more angle and it can easily lift it up. So we don't want to break the screen, we just want to be a little bit careful while doing it, as the screens may not have issues. So 99.9% it does solve a touch issue in a phone. So if you go and lift that up slowly, so while you're lifting up, you got to make sure you do not lift up too much of it. If you do, then you can easily damage the cable, which is right here. Okay, that has a touch and LCD cable on it, and Face ID is right here, so we don't want to damage that. So while doing that, we're going to easily lift it up and slowly bend it towards us, and we're going to lift up. Alright, here we are. So we're going to remove those tapes, and this is the Face ID cable, so you don't want to overstretch it or break it. If you do, you lose the Face ID permanently, unless you know how to do the soldering on those really small cabling, which is, man, it's pain. You don't want to go that part. So we're going to unscrew these screws out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are some bigger and smaller screws. These two screws are usually bigger, so we want to make sure we don't mix them with others, otherwise you can tamper the main board quite easily. So you do want to lay out the screws differently. So we're going to unscrew those and we're going to put them separately on it. Here we go. Nice and easy. We don't want to break the cable, so take your time, no rush. And here it is. This metal clip just comes off from it, and we got the cable. So this cable is for the antenna wiring, and this cable is for the LCD, and this cable is for the touch, I believe, and this one is for charging port. That's for the battery. We want to disconnect the battery quickly. Okay, this, you can see the wiring going through it here. So we're going to disconnect the battery, and this one is for the I believe for the Face ID, and this one's also with the Face ID, and this one's with the top earpiece and the Face ID. This one's with the bottom one, and this one goes to the lock button, I believe. No, this one goes to the lock button. These two are the cameras. So we don't want to touch those other cables. So all we're going to do is we're going to remove this second one, which has the Face ID. There we go. So this, and apart from that, this cable, that cable, and the screen will just separate. So we got to remove those. In iPhone X, XS, XR, we got to remove these 3 wires. That's it. And hey guys, be careful if your screen doesn't fit on it, the new one. It means you're using either XS screen on X. How you can tell if it's X or XS is quite easily, and XS does have a mark over here, like a 4 and 4S used to do in the old days. I haven't got any XS that I could show you right now, but you'll see slightly different mark like this one on the bottom of the XS. That means, you know, yes, it's XS, and screen is different. Screen will work, touch will work, everything will work, just hinges will not fit onto it, and you'll end up breaking the screen. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to put that on the side, and we're going to grab the new screen, the old screen, and we're going to remove this one. This screw near the Face ID is really small, so you can't put any other screw in it. So you want to keep it separate. If you mix it up, you not be able to close these screws. You won't be able to put any other screws in there, and they're really hard to find. So these both are same. So we're going to remove that, and don't forget to put the antenna back on this part. So right now, the best way to remove this Face ID without breaking is to remove it with these clips, the plastic clips, without breaking it. That's the best and easiest way of removing the screen. So put your tool under that, and you want to pull it slowly up so you don't wreck the Face ID. It's really easy to break them. So we're going to go slowly, nice and easy. Like this, and it comes off right off. Look at that. Okay, sweet. So this is the screen. So these are the touch ICs on it. So that's inside of the screen, and we'll be tearing one down as well later on the track as we go. So that's what the screen is of iPhone X, and this is really super slim. Look at that. All right, let's leave that apart, and we're going to grab the new screen. Here's our new screen. I'm going to check that up. Sweet. So brand new screen right here. I'm going to put the old one in there for storage. Fantastic. Here we go. So we're going to remove the tape. Nice and slow. Sweet. And you don't want to tamper with these a lot, as it can cause touch issues and a lot of issues. So you make sure you remove this protective layer of it. Alright. Sweet. So this one does have that plastic bit, so we want to remove this, otherwise we're going to mess up big time. Otherwise it's not going to fit on it. So what we want to make sure is, as you guys can see, this does have a mesh, which is an ear mesh. This does have it already inbuilt in it. So we want to make sure it's not on our Face ID over here. If there is one on it, do not touch it. Just remove the one from the new screen. Otherwise it's not going to fit onto it, and it'll crack the LCD and it's going to be wobbly. So we're going to put that on right away and make sure the screws align, and we're going to put these two screws in first. Okay, put it right here. Make sure not to over tight it. If you over tight it, you'll easily damage the screen, which we don't want to. Sweet, here we go. And so the time is, we're going to put that funny screw in, which is really slim and smaller. So we do want to make sure that we put this in, otherwise we're going to crap it out. So all good. That's it. So that's the whole assembly of the screen. So now we're going to attach it and test it. So we're going to clip that in slowly. Make sure battery's disconnected. If it's not disconnected, then it's going to wreck your backlight. And there can be all sort of issues that can be short-circuited in it. Sweet, so phone is on and the touch is working, no issues at all. And now we're going to just lock the phone and put those screws back in. Sweet as, guys. So hey guys, if you guys enjoying it, and we have done really hard work putting all this together, and make sure everyone can do their repairs. And if you guys have any questions or anything related to that, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to put more videos on about it. And hey guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with your friends. And yeah, no, it does help a lot, definitely. So we're going to put all the screws back in there, and we're going to make sure while putting this one in, we don't want to snatch the cable, the Face ID cable in it. Sometimes it gets tumbled with, under the steel bar, which we don't want to. So make sure not to lose any screws, because all the screws are really important to go back in there, and make sure you put the right ones back into where they came out from. Otherwise you're going to wreck the main board, which won't be a funny one. Okay, so okay guys, so it's not further ado, so all the screws are back in there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put that in. So we start it from the top. Okay, so top goes in first, so we're going to put that in first because there are clips on each side of it. And then while putting that in, we want to make sure we don't snatch this cable, which is right underneath the phone. So we're going to take it slowly, and we're going to make sure it doesn't get snapped in. And here it is, the bottom, and now it comes the side. Just lift it up. So now we're going to do the side of it. Sweet, clicks nicely in, and the touch are fully functioning, no issues at all. We're going to put those 2 bottom screws back in. And that's it. With the repair, it's fully done. So just got to do the 2 bottom screws back in there. Here goes the one, and here goes the second one. So it's really nice and simple to do those repairs. There's no rocket science with it. Just got to use a bit of a common sense and got to be a little bit careful. So that's what it is. Fully functioning. So see you guys in the next one, and hit subscribe, like, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. See you guys.